today's video, we're going to talk about the 7 reasons why paying attention and being intentional about building your brand is so gosh darn important, and what kind of results you can expect when you do that. My name is Kaye Putnam. I'm the psychology-driven brand strategist. Thank you so much for being here. I am so excited that you are hanging out in my orbit, whether this is your first time or a returning brand builder. Here on YouTube and elsewhere, I share videos, trainings, and free content all about how to build your brand on truth, not trends, to help you stand out in the market and attract the people that you're meant to serve like a magnet. Let's get into it. Brand building can be a little bit hard to conceptualize because it's literally underneath all of the other activities that you're taking. So posting on social media, posting videos on YouTube, putting together some type of sales funnel, a live event. Underneath all of those tactics and strategies lies your brand. So the bad news is that brand building in general, for that reason, can be a little bit confusing. But the good news is that time spent working on your brand is going to affect positively, if you do it correctly, everything else that you're doing in your business. It's like tipping over the big domino in front of a line of all the other dominoes that you have lined up in your business. So it helps people connect to you on a deeper level on social media, on video, on your website, because you're intentionally sharing a message that they connect with. So first and foremost, one of the best reasons to focus on your brand is because it is such high leverage, high impact work. Second reason why paying attention to your brand is so powerful is because you get to shift the attention from things that create comparisonitis and create the who am I to do this type of feeling that plagues so many entrepreneurs. So instead of looking outside of yourself at the market, at what everybody else is doing all of the time, it really helps to shift your attention back to who am I? What is the change that I want to make in the world? How do I want to impact people through my work? What do I believe? What's really important to me? What do I want to communicate in the market? All of those messages are so much more powerful because they come from inside instead of out. I have experienced this myself, and I'm sure many of you have, where you just get tired and overwhelmed about hearing all of the things you should be doing in your business, all of the strategies, all of this stuff, and that you need to be listening to only your customers when you're designing whatever you're going to sell to them. And of course, there's partial truths in that. But if we were all only looking at what everybody else is doing, there would be no Apple in the industry. There would be nobody that breaks out from the noise. By looking inside, that gives you an opportunity to stand out with a new message that people in your industry aren't as desensitized to. And you also get the opportunity to innovate. And you know that when you show up and you're sharing things that are true to you, it makes being visible that much easier. It makes standing in your truth that much easier. You're not going to bend over backwards for what everybody else is saying because you've done the work to excavate those core messages from inside of your brain. Third reason why we focus on brands is because businesses becoming more and more human is the future. I love to tell people, or I love to share, that the human psychology algorithm isn't changing. So as we're making this shift, as people are getting more discerning, as people are getting more insistent that the brands and entrepreneurs and anything that they buy into is in alignment with who they are as humans, we have this incredible opportunity to not only figure out what this is for us, but to have the peace of mind and security knowing that this isn't going to go out of date. This isn't going to be irrelevant a year from now, like some of the latest social media changes. We can focus on how to better serve our humans, and that's going to have a long-term effect on our business and our bottom line. There was a study done by a Harvard professor that accounted that 95% of human decisions, including when we buy something or we decide to follow a brand, are made on the subconscious level. This has massive implications for how we build our business, because so often we're just trying to convince people or to not argue, but just to make the case for why we're better, why we're faster, why we have a higher quality product, when in reality, what most of the results are going to be based on are speaking to the subconscious. And branding is uniquely equipped to help us do that, because the subconscious speaks in symbolism, both in words and visuals and stories. So if you decide what your foundational symbolism is going to be through your brand building work, what your colors are going to be, what your logo is, what your unique brand language is, what your origin story is, all of these things are speaking directly to the human subconscious, which is ultimately going to make the decision of if somebody is going to pay attention to you or if you're just going to get filtered out and ignored. In these final three, we're talking about why this matters, why branding matters. And the first one is pricing power. Branding is the reason that I pay $5.65 for a nitro cold brew coffee from Starbucks. I can make an espresso right in my kitchen. Like, I have the ingredients. I could go to any other coffee store that isn't as well branded and get something much cheaper. But branding gives us pricing power. We're baking in additional benefits beyond what just the product is. We never want to be in this space where we're a commodity. We don't want to be just another designer, just another copywriter, just another coach or consultant. We need to differentiate ourselves in a meaningful way, and branding is what gives us that proof in the pricing power that we're able to command. I've hinted at this one already, which is our number 6 reason why we need to focus on brands. And it's because it creates exponential impact. A few of the reasons why it does this is because when we make, say, modestly, 10% improvements on social, 10% improvements in the ways that our ads are received, 10% improvements on the number of conversions on our websites, 10% number of clients that are now referring us more often. When you add all of those incremental improvements together, which is what is possible when you're making a brand-wide difference, the results are compounding. You get to see an incredible shift in your business results when you focus on your brand, and it ripples out into everything else. So imagine, if you happen to have frontline or employees that are interacting with your customers, if they believe in the brand, imagine how much more effective they're going to be at their job. Or even within yourself, if you're a solopreneur and you're speaking about your brand, imagine how much more often you're going to show up and with how much more energy you're going to show up when you truly believe in your brand. So all of this creates this X factor that has an incredible impact when you add all of the little incremental improvements together. We already hinted at our final, number 7 as well. Branding gives you the ability to create differentiation beyond your product. Product differentiation is really hard to communicate to the market in a meaningful way because chances are they don't know what we're selling as well as we do. Yes, we've been educated, we've been honing in our product, we've been, maybe spending time on research and development and this whole customer experience. But our clients won't be able to assess that difference from us to the next person because they don't have that foundation of knowledge. So branding gives us this opportunity to tell a story that's larger than our product, larger than our service, that's going to attract people in like a magnet, like we were saying in the beginning of this video. It's the reason why people stick around. It creates this emotional bond between your ideal customers or clients and you as a brand. So it creates this stickiness, and also it creates, and this is related to pricing power that we already talked about, it creates more avid advocates for the brand, more repeat customers. More people are buying into the brand because it's more readily available. It comes top of mind easier. All of these things are a beautiful benefit for focusing on building your incredible brand. Now, if you've made it this far, chances are your next question is like, okay, how do I do that? I'm ready to go. I want to build a brand from the inside out based on psychology, based on being more human. And I have an incredible way that I can support you with that. So I have a signature program called Brand New Brand. It's been tested, proven, has over 100 students. We're well on our way to almost 200 at this point. And it leads you through from A to Z, every step along the way of how to select each part of your brand. Yes, we talk about visuals, but more importantly, we talk about the overarching story underneath your brand. We talk about your brand personality. We talk about how you're going to speak, the exact words that you're going to use to communicate your message in your brand. So if you click the link in the description of this video, you'll find a free masterclass that leads into telling you about Brand New Brand. So I invite you to check out the free masterclass first, and then at the end of that class, I tell you all about Brand New Brand, which I think is a fantastic step to guide you through this process. Thanks so much for watching. Please hit subscribe and like this video if you found it helpful. I'm so thrilled to be hanging out and geeking out with you here. I'll see you guys next time.